What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Sell Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 28. So excited to be back in your earbuds once again, as I am every single day of the week. So far, for 28 weekdays in a row, we are well on our way to a solid, non-stop year of Sell Your Side Hustle Podcast. Very exciting, very exciting, very exciting. Okay, guys, today I was given an idea, and I'm gonna run with it, and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so I was given the idea of, what would be really valuable? This is what I was told. What would be really valuable would be if you were to simply do like a podcast that was about business books, marketing books, personal development books, that was just reviewing them, because you have a huge library. And, so many of these books are great, but so many of these books are not great. So I was told that that was a valuable thing that I could do. And I thought, you know what? I am willing to give that a try. So here is the current thinking. Wednesdays, where I'm going to test it out. So I'm not going to promise that this is going to be a thing 45 years from now or even 2 months from now. But what I'm going to test out, and this is going to be the first test of that, is Wednesdays are going to be focused on just sharing a review of essence of a business book that I appreciate, our personal development book, or a marketing book that I appreciate. And so it'll just be an overview of what the book is, my thoughts on the book, why I like it. Okay, so with that being said, the very first of this pilot concept today, I want to tell you guys about my personal favorite business/marketing book on the planet. It's the one that I've given this book away to so many people that, man, I wish I had written this, because if I had written this, then so many people would have my book in their hands. It is The Go Giver. So if you have never interacted with The Go Giver before, let me give you a brief rundown. It is a fictional story that is designed to teach 5 laws of stratospheric success in business. That's what they call it in the book, 5 laws of stratospheric success. Okay. So as a result of that, it's a small book, it's an easy read, and it reads like a story, and it teaches good business practices. And the basic trend of that is that the trick to being successful in business is being really good at giving. So what I'm going to do right now for you guys is I'm going to read 2 things to you. One is just going to be the inside the fold description of the book, and then the other one's going to be what those 5 laws are. And then I'll point out why it's so valuable to me and why I consistently give it out to people. So here is how this reads. Ready? Uh, Quote, most people just laugh when they hear that the secret to success is giving. Then again, most people are nowhere near as successful as they wish they were. This was written by Bob Berg and John David Mann. Just want to throw out the authors to this. This is just like, this is a great book. I love it. So here's the quick description of it. The Go-Giver tells a story of an ambitious young man named Joe who yearns for success. Joe is a true go-getter, though sometimes he feels as if the harder and faster he works, the further away his goals seem to be. Despite desperate to land a key sale at the end of a bad quarter, he seeks advice from the enigmatic Pindar, a legendary consultant referred to by his many devotees simply as the chairman. Over the next week, Pindar introduces Joe to a series of go-givers, a restaurateur, a CEO, a financial advisor, a real estate broker, and the connector who brought them all together. Pindar's friends teach Joe the 5 laws of stratospheric success and help him open himself up to the power of giving. Joe learns that changing his focus from getting to giving, putting others' interests first, and continually adding value to their lives, ultimately leads to unexpected returns. Imparted with wit and grace, The Go-Giver is a classic bestseller that brings to life the old proverb, give and you shall receive. Nearly a decade since The Go-Giver's original publication, the term Go-Giver has become shorthand for a defining set of values embraced by hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So that's the story. I first read this book, I was 17, I believe. I might have been 18, but I think I was 17. And so that means I had not yet started my own business, right? Like that was foreign to me conceptually. I had not yet done anything in the business world. And I started reading this book. And one of the reasons that this hit me so hard, and I've valued it so highly ever since, is simply because in the end, this book teaches biblical truths. I realized that when I asked myself the question, I'll tell you guys the story. So this is the story, okay? I was at the time going to community college through a program called Running Start. So I was doing my last 2 years of high school and community college, and I was working at a Home Depot, and there was a shared parking lot with a Taco Bell. So I went over to Taco Bell to order something for lunch, and I ordered 2 tacos for 99 cents or whatever that deal was. I didn't order much, and it should have been a very quick thing. And I was waiting a very long time for my food, to the point where I was becoming very concerned and antsy about just being able to pay them and get back to work on time, let alone eat. So I was becoming very stressed. And at the time, I was reading this book, and I just found myself literally asking the question in my own mind, what would Pindar do in this situation? And then it was shocking to me when I realized that's the same answer that I would have given if I had asked the question of what would Jesus do. And then I looked at the 5 laws of stratospheric success through a new lens, and I realized this book is really just teaching biblical truths. It's just teaching to act in a godly manner, the way that the Bible teaches you to act. And that's kind of a wild thing to realize, because I don't know if the authors are Christians or not, but it's just the simple truth that good business is aligned with the truths that Jesus taught us about how to live in general. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull up for you the 5 laws of stratospheric success so that you can get some value without reading the whole book. But I highly recommend you read the whole book. This is an incredible read. Okay. All right. So the 5 laws of stratospheric success are as follows. Law number 1 is the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Okay. Second law is the law of compensation. Law of compensation states your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Let me read that again. Law of compensation is your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Okay. Law number 3, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place others' people's interests first. Let me read that again. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Okay. Law number 4, the law of authenticity. Law of authenticity says the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. Being authentic always works out in the best interest of all involved. That's the law of authenticity, is that the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. And finally, the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Gotta complete the circle. Give, and be willing to receive graciously. Guys, this is, to me, an incredible book, a must read for anybody who hasn't read it. And today, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've put a link in the description so you can go and you buy that book on Amazon if you want it. And I'm just going to be transparent. It is an affiliate link to Amazon specifically for the specific product, which means if you buy it through that link, I'll get a couple pennies probably, frankly. But regardless of whether or not you use my link or you just go to Amazon, highly recommend that you read The Go Giver. Fantastic book. I give it away a lot, and I highly recommend that anybody listening read it. That's all I have for you guys today. I will be back in your earbuds tomorrow. God bless.